Hey, this is WarBucks from DayTradingVoice.com doing a video on the ADX, your average directional index, and the DMI, directional movement indicators. They are good technical indicators that I use for finding swing trades. I have found that it also works well for scalping. And so I'm going to go through a few different time frames, a few different sectors, a few different scans, and show you how to use this and show you the all-around usefulness of this indicator once you understand what it is that you're reading and looking at. So first off, I'd just like to get over here on this plane. I have the DMI and the ADX together in the same plane in my Thinkorswim active trader charting system. And the yellow line is my ADX, and all the ADX does is it measures the strength of a trend. Anything below 20 over here is telling you the trend is dead or that there's a trend change coming. And anytime it gets above 40, you know you're really in a strong moving trend, and I would not recommend trading against that trend until you see some exhaustion or the turning over of that particular trend. So what we're really looking for on the ADX is your positive and negative bars. Green being your positive, red being your negative. You're looking for crossovers to the upside of either particular color. So, for example, if you're looking for shorts, when the red crosses above the positive bar, that is your signal to go short. As you can see, that happened right this morning, right at open. Okay, now by theory, you're supposed to be able to stay in these trades until the next crossover occurs, which would have been here. Now you would have caught for point A to point B here. Now the reason I say that this is an entry, not only do I have the DMI crossover, but you're also setting here with your stochastic setting in the overbought area, which is also a signal to maybe go short. So it's really a matter of having two confirmations of the same signal. And so that's really what I look for throughout this. As far as riding it to the next crossover, I don't personally recommend that. The way I use it, I'm a swing trader. I go into trades, they're pre-planned trades. I know what my stop loss is, but I also know what my target is, my potential profit. And so I'm really just riding it to get to that next profit mark. So when we get into these trades, really what I'm trying to ensure myself is that I'm not fighting the trend, or that the trend actually has my back and is going to just kind of push me along in my trade. But let's just go through here and see the trades that have happened so far today. You have a short position right here. Okay, now here you're getting your first bullish crossover, but it's kind of short-lived, and so I really wouldn't have taken that. Reason being, you're already up here embedded in the overbought, so that to me is false signal. Here you have another short signal, and here again we're up here near the overbought area. That is a good entry to the short side. Okay, so now you just go along with that in mind and you start looking. Here's another situation where you get a bullish signal, but you're already up in the overbought area, so I would pass on that. Keep in mind we're looking at a 1 minute ES chart this morning. This here would have been my first bullish entry, and that's simply because we're coming out of the oversold area, and we're getting triggered right here as well. So we still have, in my opinion, a lot of room between point A and point B here before we get back up into that overbought area. And like I say, I'm not an ES trader. I'm not a scalper by nature, so I trade mostly swings. This is simply to give you scalpers an idea of how to use this. So, here you have, your signal to go back short again, and here you're just trading sideways, so it's kind of a mixed bag. But I just wanted to show you on there. Okay, so I'm going to go into some longer term trades now, longer term charts, excuse me, and show you how to use this when looking for swings or just doing your nightly scans. Let's see what we have here. This is really nice for finding like sector rotation. When you're doing scans, especially in a program like Thinkorswim with profits charts, you can scan for any you can see here on my screen, you can scan for candlesticks, you can scan for patterns, you can scan sectors, movers of the day, whatever it is you're looking for. But if you have your DMI and ADX on the screen as well, it will show you, like, here's your gold and silver sector. It had a crossover a day ago. Today it's really, moving quite nicely. And what I'm really looking for is this ADX bar to come back out of that 20 area and start moving up to give me an indication that strength is coming into this new move. But I don't trade the sector itself. When I see a sector rotation like this, or a crossover telling me that the trend is changing, what I really do is I go into that sector. After you've been trading for a long time, you have your favorite gold and silver stocks, you have your favorite oil plays, you have your favorite tech plays, and so that's exactly what I do. Is I go in and I start looking at my favorite stock in that particular sector and see how it's setting up, and I wait for them technicals to look good as well before taking an entry. The sector itself just gives me confirmation that I better start snooping around in that area because there's a move coming. I'll show you here on a actual equity. This is panel. You see we have the crossover here today, or yesterday in fact. We have the big move today, and so you can clearly see, these different areas. You have your go short signal here, and here's something I want to point out. If you're looking at this chart, there's really nothing that tells you this is gonna be, all hell breaking loose. But the DMI indicator measures a lot of information from these different indexes, and it comes up with this big formulation to figure out trend and trend strength. So a lot of times it'll give you a very early warning to get out before your indicators, like a stochastic, may tell you. For example, let me go to an SPX. This is the SPX 6-month. You can see here where we got out. Now, up until this point, there was really no indication that we were going to have this massive sell-off. But as you can see, not only did we get our sell trigger here to go short, but the ADX is just gaining strength, and it continues to gain strength. So even though we have this little phony bounce right here, the ADX is telling me that we still have some serious downside. So keep that in mind when you're looking around. There's really not a whole lot more to share with you on how to use this. I could do a complete scan here for you, but it's really going to be just more of the same. It's going to be redundant to show you the same thing over and over again. Again, what we're looking for is crossovers. And when I say crossovers, I'm looking for crossovers that kind of line up with another stochastic or another type of indicator, whether it be, let me just go in here real quick and show you what I'm talking about with patterns. Because what I'm also looking for, as we have right here, you have your resistance line coming down, and this is not pre-planned, so I don't even know what is this, FEIC. Okay, so you have a resistance area here, and you have this nice sharp breakthrough to the bearish signal telling you, you're going to want to get out. So this is just an example of how I use this indicator to to get in and out of trades. Again, you come up here, you hit your head off of resistance, you have the change in direction signal right here, you have this downtrend, and as you can see, that trend started to gain strength, so it was really no surprise. I wouldn't get back into this at any time soon until the ADX comes down here and at least gives you a signal that this trend is dying out. And so I hope this has helped you to understand the DMI and the ADX. If you have any questions, you can post them underneath my video. I just ask that you please keep your comments respectful. I will get back to you as soon as possible. Again, my name is WarBucks from DayTradingVoice.com. Please feel free to check us out there. I would also like to say, to invite you to check out whiplashpc.com if you're interested in an amazing trading computer. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. This is WarBucks out.